Hi there. So I'm here to talk about the second most common mistake that people make when trying to lose weight. And this one is lack of a plan. So last week we had lack of a reason why, in terms of a deep value driven reason why they want to lose weight. Today it's not having a plan. A lot of people start off, they're enthusiastic. Maybe they kind of have an idea of what they want to do, or they've read a book, but they really haven't gotten into the specifics. They really haven't put together the whole plan, what it's going to look like. So that's number one, having a plan. Because there is a famous quote, and it's basically saying that failing to plan is planning to fail. A plan gives you structure, it gives you clarity. This means you're using a different part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is what helps you get to where you want to be. I think if you look, reflect on your life anywhere where you've achieved something that you're very proud of, odds are you had some sort of plan. You had structure, you had clarity. Same thing applies when it comes to weight loss. So having a plan. Number two, making sure that your expectations are aligned with the plan that you choose in terms of how quickly you can expect to get your final goal. Sometimes people want to take an approach for weight loss that's very, I'll call it modified. They want to make small changes. They don't want to do anything too big because they think if they do something too big, too different, they won't stick to it, which is fine. So you can do something more modified. But then recognize, okay, does that mean then you're taking more of a scenic route to get to your final destination? One of the analogies I like to use, I'll use often, is sort of like planning a trip, a sailing trip. Where you're on this island, you want to get to the other island. That's where, where your goal is to lose weight and what that means for you. Well, part of that is your plan is having a good navigation chart that's going to get you from A to B, as opposed to just, yay, I'm going to lose weight, you leave port, but you don't have a navigation chart. Well, who knows where you're going to end up? You might just be going in circles, right? So you need a chart. And then when you have a chart, it actually gives you a lot of clarity, and it's going to help you get to where you want to be. Now, so it's having the chart, making sure you're aligned timing-wise. You're taking a direct route, you want to take a scenic route. Either way is fine. It's just you need to have realistic expectations of what, how long it's going to take you to get there, aligned with the plan that you've chosen. The third element around having a plan is you want to make sure you have the right plan for you at this age and stage in your life. So, another analogy around the sailing is, a plan that will work for me now versus somebody else, versus, you could say a mother, a father, your sister, your brother, a friend, whoever. And what will work for one may not work for the other, because the chart didn't take into consideration, the navigation chart, maybe shoals that can come up. And the shoals that could trip me up are going to be different than the shoals that are going to trip somebody else up. And these shoals could be having to do with the body, in terms of what each person's body needs. Also mindset. Different people have different shoals that can come up where their mindset, they can get thrown off course because of just old habits and their relationship with food. So from a body standpoint, mind standpoint, there can be shoals. So it's understanding what are your shoals, and therefore what kind of chart do you need to help you get through those shoals so you can reach your goal. From a body standpoint, shoals that can make a difference are things like one's age, gender, hormonal changes. Are there any health issues? Are there any lifestyle challenges that could make it more difficult? Maybe not even more difficult, just they need to be taken into consideration with the plan. I know when in my 40s, early 40s, I was involved in sort of a fitness competition. So it was less about weight loss, but certainly there was body changes, transformation happening, and body shape changes. But what I did then in terms of food and what I ate, exercise, all of that, it was great. It worked very well. But then when in my early 50s, when I put weight on for a different reason, I was carrying it differently. I had more of a belly. I was older. I'd had hormonal changes. There were other factors now in play. So then when I tried to go about losing weight using the method I used back in my 40s, it didn't work. Why? Because I had different shoals I had to navigate around. I hadn't taken that. I didn't totally appreciate the significance of those. So as it was, then I found another approach altogether, and this is now what I've been using for the last 7 years in practice, because this worked for me with the changes in my body, because of the changes in the age, in my metabolism, carrying the belly fat. I mean, that makes a difference to our metabolism and our hormones. So taking that into consideration, that required a different plan, a different approach. So a different sort of charting system to get me from where I was to where I wanted to be. And, you know, and it worked. But it was a totally different navigation chart than what I used in my 40s. So just be aware that, you know, you need to look at your plan. Is it right for you? And how quickly do you want to get there? Just make sure your expectations are aligned with the plan you choose, so that you don't get disappointed if it's taking longer than you expect, but the type of plan you chose is only going to get you there in a slower, more scenic kind of route. Okay? So that's all I really want to talk about today. So again, last week, top mistake, not having a deep enough, strong enough why for losing weight, because that's going to ride you through. That's like your lighthouse shining brightly. It's going to get you through to the other side. And then B is number 2 that we talked about this week, is having a plan, having your navigation chart, making sure it's right for you. It's your own route, and it's going to get you through to where you want to be. Okay, so that's it for now. I will be doing another next week. I'll do another one of the top mistakes that I see people make, and give you some tips on how to navigate around those mistakes too. Okay, take care and have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.